Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye might just be the best bottle of whiskey that is every day available. But you can sometimes find them in store picks. Are they worth hunting for? Is there that much of a difference? I mean, they're already a single barrel. Let's find out.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies. So, I've seen other channels do this. I know that Bourbon Real Talk is the store pick better and made it like a Buffalo Trace thing. But I wanted to do it with this because it's, I've done is the store pick better, but specifically with single barrel. So what is a single barrel? A single barrel came from one barrel of whiskey. What's a barrel pick? A barrel pick is a single barrel of whiskey. So they're pretty similar, and if they're the same offering, is there that much difference? Is there a reason to hunt the picks? That's the question we're here to answer today. And I also thought it would be fun to do a little experimentation, because you guys know I love experimentation. I dropped a barrel spiral in one. So this is home-aged, and you'll notice a darker color. So that's kind of fun, and we'll see if I think that one's better. Maybe it'll taste older, I don't know, we'll see. It's been a few weeks. And so let's talk about these barrel picks real quick. This one came from Bourbon and Bones. This is a restaurant/bar in Scottsdale. This one came from Nana's Kitchen, which is a Mexican food restaurant here in town. And I have to shout them out because they have the best Mexican food in Tucson. And they're doing a lot of barrel picks right now. They have like a Russell's coming. They have a Wild Turkey 101 Rye Kentucky Spirit. There's, this that they did. There's some other ones in the works. Great spot for Mexican food, and if you enjoy whiskey or tequila, rum, wine, everything. The cocktails, he has award-winning micheladas. Anyway, Marco does a great job over there. Javier does a great job over there. Go see them, and you'll enjoy cool stuff like this. This guy, the Bourbon and Bones, is 134.9. The Nana's Kitchen is 137.7. The home-aged one is 137.8, so almost identical to the Nana's, and then 128.3 for the last one here. Let's dive in. Not sure if you could even read that, if it was right side up, upside down, who knows? Nose here is buttery. Little bit rye spicy, not too much. Little subtle oak. And cherry. Cherry is definitely here. Oh, wow. Cherry bomb. This is like absurdly cherry. This is cherries they are hitting you over the head with cherries. I have had a cherry pie slapped in my face. When I finally got my eyes, cleared away from the cherries, I'm just pelted with some sort of cherry machine gun. Great whiskey. There's some tobacco here. There's some leather here. This tastes like an older gal in a great way. This does not drink like a rye. It drinks like a bourbon. So this is a true bourbon lover's rye right here. A+. Completely different nose, which is pretty cool. This one is a little soapy. I don't mean that as an insult. It's just kind of here. But there's also something a little bit floral, a little bit honey. And there's rice spice here as well. Okay, this is going to be fun. This one has a little bit more heat than the first one, not in a bad way. Sometimes that transfers over to flavor, and that is exactly what's happening here. I'm getting bananas and something a little bit nutty, like maybe like walnuts. If you gave me these two, I would think they are totally different whiskeys because they have a totally different flavor profile, which is what's pretty cool about single barrels. These have the same mash bill. They should be about the same age, but when they dropped these into the barrels, where they got aged in the rick houses, clearly gave these two barrels a completely different flavor profile, which is really cool. That's off for initial rip. I like this one slightly more, but that can change when I go through them again. So like A plus A. Once again, has a pretty different nose, but I'd say it's slightly more similar to glass 1 than glass 2. There's a little bit of that cherry thing subtly here. But this one has a slight nutty thing on the nose that I got on the palate here. And a little oak and a little bit of rye spice. Ooh. Ooh. That drink's amazing. These two are both A+ whiskeys. I'm telling you, these two might even border on S tier, where you're just a little bit better than an A. It's kind of funny. Off initial rip, I think they're blowing whatever glass 2 is out of the water. This one's tasting a little hotter than these two. This one. This one does have some heat here, but I mean, we're talking whiskeys around 130 proof. That's just going to happen. It's not a knock on it. It's just speaking honest truth. But yeah, there's a little bit of banana here. There's a little bit of cherry. There's a little bit of cinnamon. There's a little bit of I'm having trouble putting honey. Yeah, I guess it's like a honey thing. That's really good. These two, I'm really jiving with. Let's go into glass 4. This one has the brightest nose. Nah, 2 still has the brightest nose. But this is bright. This is like a little bit citrusy, like a little lemon zest. This is the most vanilla forward nose so far. Oh man. This one has the best mouthfeel. This one's got a little bit more of the cherry thing from over here. It's kind of cool how I have like 4 completely different whiskeys in front of me. This is actually, I'm actually kind of shocked by these results. I figured there'd be subtle differences, but they almost don't drink like the same whiskey. Like, this one I would think is a bourbon. This one I would know is a rye, but, it drinks a little hot. This one over here is just like skating that balance of being like, is this a bourbon or is this a bourbon drinker's rye? And this one over here is just an anomaly. This is like maple-y goodness. That is pretty darn solid. Well, I'm going to go through these one more time. When we come back, I'll tell you what my favorite is. Ooh, just got a little bit of a nutty thing on the finish here, too. Anyway, you know what? I only said bananas twice or once on this one, I think. There's a little banana thing on the finish on this one, too. Anyway, we're going to go through them again, and then I'll tell you what my favorite is. I think depending upon what mood I'm in, I could see myself reaching for both of these and it being my favorite that night. Let me explain. This one drinks so much like a bourbon drinker's rye, and it drinks older. It drinks really complex, and it drinks very bourbony. This to me drinks like barrel-proof Jack Daniel's 12. That's what it drinks like to me, where you get that like heavy cherry, you get the tobacco, you get the leather, and it almost doesn't even taste like Jack Daniel's anymore. You've elevated it to a point where you've lost that banana, you've lost that nuttiness, you've lost that vanilla quality you get off the younger mainline release Jack Daniel's. Similar thing you get off of Coy Hill. This whiskey right here is comparable to Coy Hill. This one is more rye. There's more rye going on here. There's more rye on the nose. There's more rye on the palate. And, you know, when I'm reaching for a rye, I kind of want it to taste like a rye. So I'm thinking I might put it first just for that reason, but... It also drinks really, really soft compared to proof. Like, most of these whiskeys are over 135 proof. And this drink's like 115, so that's really cool. So least favorite first. Least favorite was the 134.9. What's 134.9? Whoa. I put the bourbon and bones in last. This one just drinking not quite as good as this. The ones in the front row are amazing. I did not expect that. Third place was 137.8. So this is my home aged. Yeah, so that gave us the really unique mouthfeel. It gave us, I think there's more tannins going on here, but there's still, you know, it's still not been in there too long where it's being over oaked. This is like at a perfect range. I think I need to pull that barrel spiral out of there now because it's just like hitting for me right now where I want it. Second place was the 128.3. That's this guy. And so the favorite was the Nana's rye. Okay, well, this was really fun. I really appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate Nana's Kitchen the most. I did pay for this bottle. This isn't some sort of like media thing. Anyway, I paid for all of these. Jack Daniel's has never sent me anything, despite the fact that I talk about how much I love Jack Daniel's all the time. They might be my favorite brand. I might like Jack Daniel's more than I like Buffalo Trace. I love Jack Daniel's. Please send me something, guys. Come on. I'm a homer. I will give you a favorable review, not because I want to give you a favorable review, but because you make amazing whiskey. Anyway, cheers, buddies. I really appreciate all of you. Every time you guys like these videos, every time you guys subscribe to the channel, you make this thing possible. Couldn't do it without you. Cheers.
I'm your drink.